more impressions. It's time of Overwatch, which I honestly have the hardest time not calling this Battleborn and not calling Battleborn Overwatch. The names aren't even similar. Well, syllables. Overwatch, Battleborn. Yeah, sure. Syllables. It's confusing. There's too many of these games coming out. The names are all similar. There's another one too. Well, not to mention we have Bloodborne. It's a mess. It's a giant mess. And I actually liked Battleborn. I have to pause for 3 seconds to remember what the name of the game is. That's not good. I actually liked Battleborn. I'm not buying it, but I liked the beta. It's enjoyable. I feel kind of stupid. More than usual. For how much I liked that. Because while it does things differently than Overwatch, such as you level up and you get to pick like a skill tree, which is cool and interesting, and I do like that. From 5 minutes with Overwatch, and just the UI, and just the user experience in general, Blizzard just cleans Gearbox's clock on this. Like, everything, from the way all the UI is designed, everything is so flashy and interesting and exactly where you want it to be. You're not doing this Battleborn bullshit where you try to go into a match and it's like, okay, wait 40 seconds. There are times in this where I hit a button, like quick match, go. And I'm in a match playing even after loading time in 30 seconds. Like, it's finding a match instantly. And I'm loaded and I picked a character and I'm playing it within 30 seconds. Like, this is how it should be. It should not be I have to wait for these weird queues and like, look how long I just left that game because there weren't enough people and I'm already loading another thing. That's how fucking it's just fast and in there and everything's spaced out perfectly. So we have this bottom screen selector for characters and it puts them where they need to be. In Battleborn, it felt so arbitrary, and like I don't know who any of these people are. And after playing that game for 2 hours or so, I couldn't tell you the name of more than one, maybe 2 characters. I honestly, what was that guy's name? It was like Pierre, or I don't know. I don't remember any of their names now. And maybe that the same is going to be true. In a month, ask me if I remember any of Overwatch's characters' names besides Tracer, which had her own problems in the news. Maybe I'll forget them all. Sure. But after 2 hours of this, I can visually see these characters and I know what they can do. I know from a distance who they are. There isn't a character like there is in Battleborn that's generic soldier man who looks so generic. Every time I saw him in that game, I thought he was just a neutral creep. I didn't know what the fuck he was. So you get back to this, of which there are no neutral creeps, which I actually would like if they added a mode, or maybe there is that I haven't seen yet. I've played maybe 3 or so hours of it. I would like if there was a mode with neutral things going on, or just not neutral, but waves of enemies, of AI, little AI things to distract. That's interesting. Otherwise, this plays very much like a more complex Team Fortress 2, more complex being that there's just more characters. But it's really fun. It's a really fun thing. This is the weird year for me because I've played a lot of these multiplayer games and I've never really gotten into them, but I've liked basically every single one I've played, and maybe I like multiplayer. I'm playing this on PC with a controller, so I'm terrible. More than usual. More terrible than usual. Like, look how god-awful I am. It's truly bad. But I'm also playing on this weekly challenge or something, I forget what it's called, where when you die, you get assigned a random hero, which is perfect. You get to learn all the heroes. You get to see how even ones where you play it once and you don't really understand, and maybe this is like, oh, this hero sucks. I don't like him at all. And then you play him a couple more times, like, oh, okay, I can do this and I can do this move. That's what it's all about, and that's why I like this mode. You get to learn all these other characters. And I found the characters I do really like. Back to the abilities. I'm all over the place. Abilities here. It's very smartly done for the most part. Sometimes it can be confusing. Some of these characters have a lot of stuff going on. They have an alternate weapon that you can change to, and now it's different moves. It can be confusing, sure. But for the most part, you know The left bumper is going to be some kind of movement. And the right one is going to be a shield or a healing thing. That's basically how it works for all the characters. It feels very cohesive. You have an ultimate move that charges in the middle with a little gauge in the middle. We're pressing Y. This is a little more confusing because all the moves are different and it's hard to remember what they do when you're playing with 20 different characters. And I'm terrible. Also, I'm terrible. That's part of the problem. But it's so much fun to see how all these weird characters play together. You feel like you're really playing together, which is something Battleborn never... We were playing together, sure, we were in the same area, we're in the same map, we're all on a team, but in this, it really can come down to, okay, we need the shield guy to block this guy's turret and the sniper on this platform. And then we got it. We can hold this position. You got the shield. We got this other guy flanking. Okay, we got this right here. And then you can change the different characters on the other modes, but you're not just randomly being assigned. And you get to see how they all interact, and it actually works really well. And it's a frantic firefight, which isn't what Battleborn was. It definitely... Battleborn feels like Borderlands, maybe to its detriment, where you're shooting things, and you're shooting things for a lot longer, unless they're a hero, and then you're kind of shooting them, but then you gotta use your moves, and you're waiting for cooldowns. This is more of an action game. Definitely more in line, like I said, with Team Fortress 2. And certain characters I don't necessarily understand yet. Some of them I still barely, even with the random thing picking it. Never really played some of these people. I don't know what the fuck this guy does. So certain characters have more of a learning curve. Playing on PC with a controller is not good for me sometimes. I can't aim for shit. Look at this. What am I even doing? I don't even like strafe. I don't run around. I just get blown up. It doesn't matter. There's so many great moments of setting up a turret, or you can play as the one guy who can turn as a robot. He can turn into a stationary turret in like super offensive form. It's good. It's hard to say exactly why it's good. All the pieces work together. All the different characters, they don't necessarily feel, no one feels overpowered or anything. They all have their uses. The one guy has the shield, but he only has melee. He can block everything, sure, but it's only in front of him. And he can't fire back, really. So, he is the tank. There's Tracer, who can jump around, but she's super squishy. And if I actually could aim and wasn't terrible, maybe I could kill her. And she can rewind time, but it's only 3 seconds, and he has a cooldown, and so there's all these weird rules, and you start learning what these characters can do. Like, that guy I gotta watch out for up close, that guy has this one move, he's gonna jump here, or you can start using them in... And that's what never happened with Battleborn. There was never a moment where I was like, okay, if I do this, when that guy does that move, we can fight that guy and fight that guy. This was very much, okay, I'm gonna set up my turret here, you're gonna guard it, that person's gonna snipe and cover this. Everyone's kind of following their role, which was awesome and very fun and amazing. And even going back to some of these characters, they're initially confusing, some of them. There's this one guy who can heal, or he can like buff or debuff people, and he can be super powerful. You just debuff people, and you start shooting them, and then maybe they don't realize, and they're already dead, but you're so squishy. Squishy. It's really good. I really enjoyed Overwatch way more than I thought I would. I loved Blizzard from way back. I mean, I've been a fan since Diablo, you know. So you got me. You got me for life, Blizzard, with Diablo. And there was a point here in this beta where I was thinking about buying this game for the first time ever, which says a lot. Because Battleborn, I never really thought about buying. I was like, maybe I'll pick it up on a Steam sale or something. This is really good. I'd love to see a single player with this. There's so much going on, though. I don't know exactly how that would work. And you're not leveling up anything, but It's so good. It's really enjoyable, and a lot of people are like, it's not like I'm alone in that. I'm not the first person on the internet. Oh, I like Overwatch. Derp, derp. It's fun. It's good. You're shooting. I lose all the time. Just terrible. Straight terrible. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. You can still have fun blowing things up with your stupid. The fun thing about this is half the time, maybe more than half the time, when this game slows down to do the ending, and it says victory or defeat, I don't know if I've won or lost. Like I'm just playing this game. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like we were almost to the objective. Is that a defeat? They didn't hold us off very well. I don't know. And it's like, oh, we won. Oh, we lost. I don't care. And the game doesn't even really highlight that. There's no way I've found for you to see like a kill-death ratio or of everyone on the team. Like, there's no way I could find, and I wasn't like searching for hours to see, oh, who got the most kills? Oh, who did the most of this? There was no way to do that. It shows you the thing at the end that was kind of just on the screen where you get to vote the player of the game, of the match, off both teams. And based on like this person healed all this damage, this person had 2 minutes where they were pushing the target or whatever. You get to vote, and that's basically the only stats you see for other people. And that's super interesting to me because I'm terrible. As I've said every 5 seconds on this. God awful. Just terrible. I'm shooting at like no one. This is why the guy who everyone has a rocket or a grenade launcher is my character. Because I need splash damage. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm shooting all over the place. Precision weapon? No. God, no. I'm dead. But more so, maybe that's the key difference than Battleborn. And I keep bringing in Battleborn. I say that more than I say Overwatch. So the key difference here, to me, and now that I think about it, isn't necessarily the different heroes. It's that you can change between them in a match to suit the need. In a game like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or whatever, and I've never played Heroes of the Storm, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but like other MOBAs, you can't change in the middle of a match your hero to be like, okay, we need a tank. Like, oh, they're playing this way, we need to adapt. And that's what's interesting about this, is you could do that. You could say, all right, this character's not working against them. They're too powerful. They have 2 snipers. We can't fight them with this guy. So let's change to something else and zip around the map as Tracer or something and get behind them and kill their snipers. You have that versatility, and maybe that's aided in part by the fact that you're not leveling characters up. So you wouldn't lose progress. You're not losing anything. You're just starting a new character. Doesn't matter. Really good. I kind of wish there was a team deathmatch, but maybe that's not the point. Everything is very objective based. It's all about the objectives. It's not really about killing other people, and maybe that's the point because I'm just so tired of camping and snipers. And also, while we're just talking about random shit that no one's listening to, when did all first-person shooters start making the enemy team be the red team? Because this is something I've wanted for years, and I literally stopped playing online games more or less because of this about 8 years ago. Like, I just was tired of being on the red team, and now I'm fighting the blue guys, and now I'm fighting the red guys, and now I'm fighting... It's fucking confusing. And now it seems like every game does what I wanted them to do for years, which is you're always fighting the red team. Always. They're always the bad guys. It's fucking confusing to have it the other way. Are there games that still do that? Is this just that several games in a row this year have done it? Or is it the norm and I'm just an idiot? I'm leaning towards idiot. Probably dumb. Generally, when something... It's generally my fault. Generally my fault. Any confusion... Hey, I did something! Occasionally good. I wish maybe... I don't know how many maps there are, but I kind of feel like you go to the same places in them, and they're really big, and I'd love to see... I like how I won here, even though I was just doing so terrible. Oh, I found health on accident. Yeah, good job, moron. I'd love to see different areas of the map, and there's a lot of objectives where you're pushing things through the map, but certain areas of this don't get seen, and I wonder if there couldn't be a few more game types then, you know, take this area or attack this area, move this target around. That seems like all there is. And maybe there could be, I remember some of my favorite modes, I think this is in Halo, one of the Halos, where there's several control points. So you can go to A, I think it was actually in one of the Crisis, actually. It's like the Crisis 3-bit or some shit I'm thinking of, where there's 3 capture points on the map, so you can try and capture A and B at the same time, and you have different firefights going on. It's like, oh shit, someone's capturing C. No one's over there because we're fighting over this. And then you can do weird things like that. There's nothing necessarily like that, and that does keep the game focused because these maps are big and you're spawning, and how all that works is associated with the one target going on, and that works really well. You're never out of the fight for too long. And that's great. Another thing, Battleborn, you die because of weird balancing with that and levels and blah, blah, blah. I do wish there were more modes. I do wish there was something a little else in terms of modes, or something else going on. Even if it's just like, oh, here's the hero fight mode, where you just fight in a weird arena. Or here's, oh, what is it? It's a 5-on-5 or is it 6-on-6? Doesn't matter. You could change it up to where it's like that was 10-on-10 in a different, smaller sized map, which could be crazy. It's just chaos area. Put AI bots in it. Make it like Warzone in Halo 4 or 5. What Halo are we up to? 5? Something like that. I do think it needs more modes. I think its custom games need some clarification. I'm not sure why I have to create a match myself and then like people join it, or like why can't I just search for what's going on? Not dedicated servers wise. I mean, if I wanted to play on a certain map, I couldn't really find a way to just search for that map. It was weird, and I know there's weird things that I'm sure maybe get added later. That's fine, because the base gameplay of every hero has all these different moves, and you have to know when to use them, and it's about learning these characters, and it's not about leveling up or getting better equipment or whatever. It's about using what you have appropriately for the different characters, against the different characters, and knowing this guy's going to teleport here, okay, the Tracer's used her rewind, now we can go after her or whatever. That's what it's about, and all the intricacies work really well together. I rather enjoyed it. It's great. I don't know why my phone's buzzing. Fuzzy phone. I think that's it. No one, this is rare. I haven't had a show without anyone showing up in a while. That's sad. Y'all failed me. The internet failed me. Yeah. Okay. I've done this show for no one several times. Not the first time. Won't be the last. Well, I'd like it to be the last, but it won't. It's a good game, and Mike, I think, is still don't touch it. Don't touch it. Remember that feeling where it's like hot and cold? That's how I feel right now. It's hot and cold. I don't like it at all. It's fucking hot in here, but I have chills. Am I sick? I might be sick. Oh no. Anyway, I do the show live at 3 p.m. Pacific time every Friday. People here or no, I'll do the show. Didn't want to rhyme, but it happened. That's my favorite character to play, is Junkrat, I think his name is. Good character. Everyone else is good at this guy. I'm terrible. Everyone else, this guy like has a chain that you can pull people towards you and you're stunned while it happens. Everyone else throws this stun thing out, hits me, kills me. I do it. I hit them, I shoot them once, and they run away. What the fuck going on? Oh. Anyway, that's it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Battleborn. Yay? Or yay? Not Battleborn. Overwatch. See? It's confusing. This is, okay, Overwatch is now just called the one with Tracer, because that's the only... Ridiculous.